3, 2, 1.
And it's game time. Kinex 5 here in our Sateca, King of Sateca tournament. Oh, a quick kill coming out by Eiko here. If you think it's odd to see us playing this time of day, it's because these guys are mostly Europeans. You notice their amazing pings. Having us a little fun on a map we don't really know, or I don't really know. These European folks, a lot of these guys are pretty familiar with this map. It's one that's kind of in development still, for those who haven't been joining us. And so we're putting together a quick little tournament just to sort of test it out. Look at some of the new tweaks that they've added to it. What we're seeing right now is a very fast-paced map, or potentially fast-paced map, that is really rewarding aggression and close quarter combat a lot more than many of our other UT maps that we play. We saw Eiko win the first map of this match, or the first game on this map against NmS up there. Now he's up 2-0 with about a minute into the game. Winner of this match will go on to play Zill in the third round of the winners brackets. Eiko right now all sorts of in control. This is one of those maps where if you get too caught up with controlling items, you're not going to be able to convert anything into kills, I should say. And that's what we saw right there. Is you're seeing, I think, ooh, another flat ball coming out by NmS, or excuse me, by Eiko on NmS. He's able to dodge that one. But what you're seeing is NmS doing a pretty good job of contesting everything. He's running weapons. He's contesting armors. He's fighting over everything. But at times he's giving up kills to do so. And it's such a map that's so small like this and so tight, you can negate those armor advantages much more easily than in a bigger, wide open map. So, in my opinion at least, from what I've seen, a lot of times the players that are finding themselves in better position to make aggressive pushes are the ones that are going to be coming out on top. So even if you concede, say, that 50 armor, if you can find yourself in better position to take shots at the enemy, then that 50 armor can disappear very quickly. I've seen Eiko now completely denying that area over the... Oh, he jumps over the 100 armor. We saw him do that last match. Maybe still getting used to some of the wall dodges required to stay out of that water. Now anticipating his opponent, thinking he's going to jump up there for those vials. Looks like he maybe went over for the 50 armor instead. So NmS is trying to throw some flak balls and combos out. Basically everybody, each person trying to get some free damage on the enemy right now. They don't want to leave themselves open for attacks. They want to try to predict and get some damage out. Eiko content to jump back and try to grab some more vials and stack himself up. And now he's going to be in position to grab this 50 armor. And he heard that rocket launcher taken, I believe. Going to try to anticipate NmS coming right through there. He actually does, but a few seconds later than he thought. And so Eiko's going to be in position now to make a play on this 100 armor, and he's going to be able to just bully NmS around because he's got completely stacked right now. He's 150 armor, 168 health. And again, on a map like this, it's not impenetrable. You can do a lot of damage by predicting your opponent's movements, but right there he does virtually no damage. NmS does. So Eiko in great position right now. So he can pretty much be as aggressive as he wants to be. Just push forward and just constantly be converting his health and armor advantage here into damage. But he does need to start turning these into kills, though. That's one thing that's worrying me about the way Eiko's playing right now, is that he's being a little bit conservative and he's sort of content to own the map. But while you've got an 8-frag lead, that's great, but you can turn around an 8-frag lead really quick in this game. If he loses control and NmS is able to be very aggressive, he can close that gap in a hurry. One thing we are seeing Eiko do a really good job of, though, is denying NmS access to the 100. So a lot of players that I've seen, they'll sort of duel over it. Each player will basically... Oh, wow, is that a telefrag? That was a telefrag. It can happen. Most maps in UT don't have teleporters, so you don't typically see it that often. This one does, and we just did. Ooh, and a nice flak primary coming out there by Eiko. This is one of those maps where flak primary can really shine. You see Nemesis kind of getting stuck in that lift, but he finally jumps out, fights his way back up top, and now we've seen a role reversal here as Eiko finds himself in bad position. He's probably going to get a kill out of this because he has more health, but he's down to 16. So a bit of a Pyrrhic victory there for Eiko. However, Nemesis doesn't make him pay as he doesn't seem to have control of that 100 armor. Combos in flat coming out. Eiko doing exactly what you need to do in this map. Jumping straight at your opponent and just forcing the issue once you've got the upper hand. And now we're seeing Eiko do what I was worried about a little earlier. That is to say, turning map control into frags. You have to convert that. You can't just run around and own this map. You have to be grinding it out and just really just beating your opponent to a pulp the whole time. Eiko down to 1 health. That armor's not going to do him any good. Finally gets enough, so he's got health. Let's see what Nemesis is looking like. Nemesis is actually having a health disadvantage now after that 50 armor came out. Ooh. And was that did he? Okay, yeah, that's dominating. Not sure where that -1 came from. Thought he might have comboed himself there. Nemesis just unable to put anything together. I'm going to go ahead and watch him for a bit, though, so we can see what things look like from his perspective. And the one thing that I've noticed from Nemesis so far this match is he doesn't seem to be contesting the 100 armor very effectively. I don't know if he's just not used to the flow of the map and so he's kind of catching himself out of position, or if he literally hasn't heard it taken, or, you know, there's another possibility on this map. There's so many vials. Sometimes you'll play it almost like, say, Rankin, and you'll concede the 100 armor for the sake of going and taking other, you know, resources around the map. The problem here is he hasn't really been controlling the other resources around the map. He's just sort of been losing the 100 armor. And so that's given Eiko, you see him, 126 armor. He's had so much health and armor this map. In fact, let's see how many. 7 for him, only 1 for Nemesis. In fact, 50 armors are pretty much the same. Health, well, health is a little bit of a strange indicator in this game since it doesn't separate between going 100 over 100 health and not. But you can see Eiko taking many more vials than Nemesis. On a map like this, that's actually a pretty important indicator too, because if you're grabbing, you know, an extra 10 vials, I mean, that's as good as grabbing a 50 armor. Oh, you see Nemesis trying to do a nice little around the corner wall dodge there. Doesn't quite make it. Eiko's going to run away. Nemesis finally in position to contest that 100 armor. Eiko's in better position, though. He takes it and gets away. Does take some damage, though, so that's at least an improvement by Nemesis that we're seeing in this map. He's finally making Eiko pay a little bit for grabbing these armors. Here's combos coming out all around. Not sure where Eiko is. And that may just be a matter of familiarity with the map. It looks like Nemesis isn't anticipating Eiko's movements as well as Eiko is anticipating Nemesis, and that probably just comes down to practice and knowing the map, and, you know, obviously, you know, understanding the flow of the map. Ooh, Eiko is right behind him. Don't think Nemesis saw him. Finally whips around when he hears that teleporter. Does get a rocket off. Not sure what weapon Eiko is holding, but if he had a flat cannon, that could have been instant death if he doesn't nail that rocket. Oh, and he misses a really nicely set up shot combo there that he just couldn't quite convert. Eiko taking a ton of damage, but he had so much health and armor it doesn't even matter. He's still going to be double Nemesis' health. So Eiko right now pretty much on cruise control. Oh wow! See Nemesis right there, jumping right over the flat cannon. Just nothing going his way right now. So Eiko's pretty much got this one in the bag. You're going to see a 24 frag lead. Yep, 24 frag lead. We'll go ahead and take a look at some of his stats right now, just, you know, just for the sake of comparison. See the health. Again, that health is going to mostly indicate, on this map, number of vials getting picked up. So Eiko just dominating everything. I mean, actually, you saw some 50 armor, 650 armors going to Nemesis, so he's doing an okay job contesting those. He's been around some of the 100 armors lately, but he really just couldn't quite get control of it towards the middle of the game. And of course, when you see that big of a health differential from the vials, I mean, that's difficult even if you're against someone who's who's an inferior fragger, or that you're otherwise outplaying. If they can get that much more health and armor than you, it's like playing someone in warm-up mode while you're just spawning with 100 health, and it's just a huge disadvantage. Aiko's done a good job of turning those into caps, or excuse me, into frags. We're playing one-on-one this time. There's the godlike, and he's not even hardly broken down. And so, NmS, I think if he knew the map better and he was able to get some predictive damage out on Aiko, that would be his best bet. We've seen a couple of really big advantages, like armor and health stacks, disappear very quickly on this map, and that's mostly due to the fact that you can predict player movement fairly easily on it once you know the map, and I should say fairly effectively would be a better word. And you could lay out a bunch of damage right as someone's turning the corner. Hasn't been able to do that though, and Aiko, 32 health, that's the lowest I've seen him in quite some time, but of course he immediately grabs that 100 armor, goes straight for the health, and all of a sudden he's got that advantage again. So Aiko already has his lines. I mean, he knows exactly where he's going in this map. Seems very familiar and comfortable with it. And I mean, that's why he's up 27 to -1. So it will be interesting, however. I haven't seen Zill play yet, and that's who Aiko will be playing after this. As far as I'm aware, the Skaven versus Sulaco match is still delayed for the time being. So that will be the match we bring you next, is Aiko versus Zill. But we still have 3 minutes left of this one. Aiko down to 42 health, maybe a chance to finally break the shutout, or at least pull back even for NmS. He's got in good position, he's got flak in his face, just not able to hit these shots. And Aiko, one thing I'm noticing about his style of play compared to other players on here, he's getting in position for these armors way ahead of time. And that's allowing him to keep NmS from even, contesting them effectively. He's able to push him way off from a distance. However, it'll be interesting to see how that works against other players that are a little more active, because he may be in danger of getting flanked by that. It looks like some of that pack loss coming in here by Aiko as he's glitching around a bit. Luckily, it's not going to play any kind of role in this match as he's already well in the lead, but you can see him on the stream. He's kind of skipping around and teleporting like he's like he's using a translocator, really. Upwards of 7 packet loss coming in, and let me tell you, any packet loss is bad packet loss. There's no okay packet loss.
2 minutes remain.
So 2 minutes left. Aiko gonna go ahead and push through these connection issues he's having. He's already got the lead, so pretty much insurmountable. Maybe he'll just run around and ride this one out. Pretty much autopilot his way through. Let's see if I can get you guys an update. Yeah, we got Aiko and NmS. So it looks like we're still waiting on info on that Sulaco Skaven match. But like I say, if that's not going on, if we don't get that going quickly, we'll just bring you Aiko versus Zill, who I believe will be playing in the next round of the winners bracket next. So 1 minute left. All academic at this point. Aiko pretty much dominating this match on both maps. However, like I say, there have been some interesting intricacies to his playstyle that have not necessarily been the same as some of the other players that I've seen winning the matches. So it'll be interesting to see how that contrasts, and how we see some of these really aggressive players going up against sort of a more methodical one. Ooh, 35 seconds left. There's a prediction flak ball that NmS needed about 50 times earlier in the match. What we've seen some of our earlier matches is that oftentimes, not unlike some Quake maps, your best bet for getting getting a quick shot on your opponent is actually to stop pursuing and just wait and cut them off and be patient. So that's another interesting aspect to this map that you don't often see in a lot of UT duel maps.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Big combo coming in by Eiko. Oh, Nemesis finally pulls back to even at the very last seconds of the match. Not gonna be enough for him though. Eiko's going to move on to play Zill in round 3 of the winners brackets.